But what is if you have fake crystals and you're doing that? You're never gonna find out if it's fake or not. Do you know what a quartz crystal, how hard a quartz crystal is? It's on the scala 1 to 10. It's on the 7 or 8, but 7 it is. I'm sure it is. 10 is diamond or diamonds. So I came up to this idea, which make those kind of dealers frustrated when I tell them that, because when I bring those crystals back and say, look at this, they're broken, how can they break? Then they ask me what you do with it. And I said, I cooked it. And they kind of look beg your pardon. So, and then explaining to them, this is a hardness of 7. Glass is not 7. You know what I mean? So what you do is you take a pot of water that is a little bit more water in there to cover your crystal. It may be like twice as much. And then get it to a boil, that water first, depending how much you put in there, you know? So they will have to be covered with water. And also eventually put then a lid on it as a safety measure, because in the beginning I didn't know that nothing drastic is going to happen, but you know, people are doing faking a lot of stuff and you don't know what kind of material you have there in front of you. What is if you're cooking this and that crystal explodes, right? You get all the fragments flying around. So always put a lid on it. This is a safety measure, you know. This may not happen, but you know, be on the safe side. So then I put it in, the water was boiling, and I took those crystals, those quartz crystals, and I put them, I didn't throw them in, you know, I went as low as possible down, and I threw him a little bit in there, because you can put it in the boiling water, you burn yourself, right? And then put a lid on it, and I was standing beside it, just listening, you know, listening to the boiling, keeps on boiling, and then about, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 seconds later, something like that, or maybe a few minutes, I don't know, I heard a sound in there, in that boiling water, in that pot. There were, I had new crystals in there, which were freshly bought here in Germany, cost me like 70 euros. And because it looked so perfect, so clean inside, you know, I said, well, this is a fantastic thing. And because they are normally highly priced. And then there were some that I brought from Canada, which I know these are crystals because I've been doing there some alien contact and things and spirits and so on, you know, they've been helping me a lot, just like pyramids did. And then after, like I say, a few minutes, I heard this sound. It sounded like you were stepping on already broken glass, like when you get from a car, broken glass lying on the floor in the summertime, you know, the floor, the ground outside the parking lot is clean, and you step on it and you kind of twist your shoe on it, you know, it makes this crunching sound, this, yeah, that's how it sounds. It's maybe not that long, it was like something like that. Okay, I kept them boiling, and then okay, I turned it off. I poured this water. In this water, I put fresh cold water in, so it started to mix in it, so you know, not to get it a shock and whatever happens. And I poured it out, let it sit a little bit, you know, because these stones are hot. Eventually, they cool off, and then I examined them. So my crystals, my quartz crystals that I brought from Canada, they were unharmed, you know, because these things are hard. You know, I've, you know, been using them every day, many times a day, you know, charging them with pyramid energy, and then using it on my third eye to do what I want to do. For instance, if you want to go, let's say in the States, you know, those distances are so great, then you drive your car going on the highway, and you drive maybe to another city to do some stuff. But there are also cops, you know, with radar standing around, you know, and you don't want a ticket, but you like to drive fast sometimes, or you're listening to the wrong music, which makes you drive fast, you know. So I took this crystal onto my third eye, and I sucked the energy out of it, visualizing and doing it also into my third eye, and also visualizing what I was planning to do, like going to a trip to Toronto. And on the way, I'll be listening to music. I'm visualizing myself, what I'm doing, you know. And I know that there are cops out there, you know, with radars. So I visualized the first time when I go there, nothing's gonna happen, you know. I want you guides to be warning me of if there's danger, you know? And this did happen. And on another time, I wish to get pulled over by a police officer, by a woman police officer, a real cutie one, you know? And, but there should not be any charges laid, you know? Because, you know, when you're listening to music in the car, you can see them on YouTube, and some people dance in it, sing in it while they're driving their car, right? So I've been pulled over in Canada many times because of that, you know, because they thought I was on something. I was not. I was just happy. So that was my second thing, meditation. And if exactly that happened, you know, it was so cool. So to those crystals. So when I examined my quartz crystal, it was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. When I examined the the artificial ones, the ones that were so expensive, so perfect, they were inside cracked. So that was shocking, you know. And that also made me think like, okay, that makes no sense, because when I used that quartz crystal, charging it inside a pyramid, and nothing really happened much. Like the energy that I sucked out of it, tried at least from the pyramid energy, like you know, like a catalysator or whatever you call them, I barely felt anything. I thought like, what? Something's wrong here. I don't know what's going here. Is it the air here, or is it the pyramid? I don't know. And now it made sense. So that thing was glass. So eventually I brought them to them, and they were kind of shocked. Interestingly, a few months later, well, I told them, you know, eventually you could get sued for this, for selling something that isn't real. You know what I mean? A few months later, when I went to visit that store again, it was a little store, they were gone. I wonder why. You know, they probably get scared because they're selling this stuff, and if it makes the round that there's someone out there that figured that out, how to check that, then they have a problem. You can fake so many. You can fake even Bernstein, you know? Look at this. This is kind of, this illumination here. I'm using LED light. It is white light. This is the kind of stuff you go, board skiing, you know? Snowboard skiing, you may use this as put it on your stern, but this is a flashlight, you know? It's a very strong flashlight. 1,000 lumen, you know, it goes very far. And so this is a very natural light. This is very important. It has to be natural light, not kind of fake yellow light, you know. So that way you see, that's how the Scotch tape looks like, and whatever's around it, you know these things. Yeah, but here crystals. You know what this reminds me of, this kind of form? When you look at it right now, just got this idea of what this may be. It looks like a spaceship. The top part of it on the left side is like a hook. And the right side is, there's this yellow lump there, right? If there be there also a hook, and now you're looking at it from the top view, this looks like one of those shuttlecrafts, those on the movie with Will Smith, Independence Day. You know, they had such spacecrafts that looked like that, didn't they? Those aliens. When you look at it from the top, it looked something like that. You know, interesting, isn't it? But these barcodes are really cool. Look at this. These barcodes are really cool. I'm going to try to go from the behind it somehow. I can't go really far behind it like this. This is as much behind as I can get. So no, I can't really. Okay, now we'll take a look at the golden one. You know, that was so exciting to talk about it again. How long did we talk? 18 minutes, I think. Okay, good. Now I'm going to move it up to the golden one. Look at this. I'm going to close in first to see if something can be analyzed. And by also putting shades in it, you know, you always put a shade, and you may think, oh my goodness, what are you doing, you know? These may not be mistakes, like I said, you know, these may not be mistakes. And like I said, this is purple. And when I showed you that on the first clip, that I filmed that in a bathroom, they looked with the light just, you know, I don't know, dark red. And the other one looked also dark red, which was another flashlight, but the same light, you know. And to make sure that those flashlights are identical. They're lights. I'm going to take this off now and show you the other light. Now I'm taking this off. I have to shut it like this. I may put it like this. This is, and by holding it 2 seconds, it shuts off. And then when I hold it again 2 seconds, it goes at this level on again. This is cool, isn't it? Now it's off. Okay. And now using the flashlight, the light I used back then, which is already a week, I would have to put some new batteries inside. But look at this, it still shows it's purple. But a little not very light, is it? So you could say, okay, this is not working. Okay, I'm going to put new batteries in it, and then we'll see in a sec how it looks.